said SEC breaks away to play by its own rules that could bring sanity to college sports and save Olympic sports. Big Ten says, we're really happy to continue without spending. And Big Ten can't do that. Because as we've seen, and as only one person in the country on Sports Talk Radio predicted about 6 years ago, me, I'm the only one. I predicted at the time the haves are not going to be the haves 5 years from now, because you're going to see money coming in from markets where you're like, wait, they have money? Yeah, they always had money. They didn't want to cheat like you. Now they can legally cheat. Now the money in a lot of big markets or places that you didn't think have money, now they can do it. And there is more money in certain places than freaking Tuscaloosa and Starkville. Podunk. But there does need to be some system to control spending to a certain extent, but the only way it's going to happen is if the athletes and their representatives have a say. So until they're willing to do that, I don't know what's going to happen. I do think we are headed towards, when you start to hear conferences say, hey, we're going to split off, I do think we are headed towards what we've talked about, again, the only show in the country. We're not the only one, but
it's Chicago.
One of the shows out here that 5-6 years ago started talking about the fact that the SEC and Big Ten eventually would go out on their own. They would join forces. They would pluck whoever they want from the ACC and the Big 12, and you'd have like a Big 50, and that would be Division I, and there'll be a Division II, which will be more like what we're used to, say, 15 years ago in college sports. It almost seems inevitable. I hope it doesn't happen. I think there are benefits, like the Iowa State DD went nuts last week. He's like, all right, well, go ahead and split, see what happens.
There's a
with all your other sports and how you're going to get along. Well, if they have 50 schools...
There's a Hard Rock. Spray of Koi 7.
I think they're trying to keep it regional, but then that, you know, a Big 50, Big 40 would have schools from all over the country, so that would make travel difficult.
There's a hotel, guys.
Money.
When you started this, though, and you brought up Kirby Smart, who definitely is going to be influential in this, and talking about the SEC, I immediately thought about that. Them split, that meant trying to get the Big Ten and them doing their power.
Do you think deep down what they really mean in the SEC is we can't keep up with the Big Ten, so we need to align with them and then come up with a cap so that we can somehow compete? Because I saw Stuart Cravens, who's become a pretty good voice in college sports, said how rich it is to hear SEC coaches talk about, quote, playing by the same rules when your conference specifically benefited from breaking the rules and paying to play long before NIL was ever a thing. Now that the playing field is even, you want to take your ball and go home. I don't think that's exactly what Kirby Smart was talking about.
You don't?
Because I think Georgia can, places like Georgia can keep up with the Joneses, whoever the Joneses are in the Big Ten.
3 years in a row, Big Ten. So.
But I don't think it's all money. I truly don't believe it's all money, but it's a fun theme to talk about and mock on the SEC for. Number 3? Number 3. So I saw a guy, Sam. Right. Indiana won the national championship. Sam Darnold won the Super Bowl. It's not Sam Darnold who wrote this. The Knicks are in the NBA Finals. Apply for your dream job. Buy your mom a house. Hit up your crush. 2026 is the year to just go for it all. This Knicks craziness, I understand a lot of it because they had such a long drought, 27 years. You are the gambler in this room, Alex White. Were the Knicks the 8th choice to win the East before the season?
No.
I can swear they were 2nd or 3rd choice.
They were, yeah.
They're ending a long drought getting to the finals, but like what they've done here was not some upset of the century. They were expected to be a good team.
Well, weren't they one game away from being in the finals last year? They lost to the Pacers, but they were right there.
Yes. Are we rating on the parade? This is not exactly, Little Sisters with Poor pulling the upset. It's not Indiana, the losingest college football program in the history of the sport, in 2 years turning into a freaking juggernaut and winning a national championship.
No, those are not comparable.
Number 2. All right, some of these 1999 references, the last time the Knicks were in the NBA Finals. Ticket prices, courtside seat for 99 NBA Finals at MSG against the Spurs, $2,700. Right now, in the resale market, cheapest ticket for Game 3 at MSG intro into the finals, cheapest ticket is $3,600. Yeah, and a sign of the times that things have gone up from an inflation standpoint, because that wouldn't exactly, that true number sports, and that people are willing to pay whatever to be part of the pool event.
I think that one more, but I think a little bit of both. But, geez, 2,700 for
It's 3,600. I'm sorry.
I was born in 89, I was 10. I was
Okay. Listen, 99.
no.
That's pretty early in the sports
Go,
maturity
guys.